When the little girl was still in diapers, she could already easily write her own name. At 2 years old, she learned to take care of herself. By the time she was 3, she showed a natural talent for cooking. Making an omelet was no big deal for her. At 4, when she read books, she'd place fresh flowers on the table to add a touch of ceremony. By the time she was 5, she had read every book in the house, so she started borrowing books from a library several blocks away. Matilda was born into a family that favored boys over girls. Her parents were often away and paid her little attention. But thankfully, books kept her company and helped pass the time. With all that reading, Matilda's mind matured far beyond her years. 6 years flew by, and it was time for Matilda to start school. But her father thought she was too young, and didn't want to waste money on it. Her mother, full of impatience, simply lied and said their daughter was only 4, hoping to crush her desire to go to school. Their favoritism was nothing new. Even her brother often took out his frustrations on her, calling her an idiot. One day, their father asked his son to calculate the profit on each sales receipt. But before he could come up with the answer, Matilda quickly solved it in her head and blurted it out. Instead of praising her, her father accused her of showing off, diminishing his son's intelligence. He wasn't satisfied until he dragged her to her room and made her face the wall in punishment. At that moment, Matilda finally broke down in tears. Since they didn't treat her like family, it was time for her to fight back. One day, while the family was out for dinner, Matilda handed her father his hat. Without a second thought, he put it on, unaware she had coated the inside with super glue. When the family arrived at the restaurant, ready to eat, her father found he couldn't remove the hat. He called for her mother to help, but instead of freeing the hat, they turned the restaurant into complete chaos. When her father finally managed to take the hat off, his already thinning hair left him with a shiny bald spot. The whole family was in shambles, but Matilda was laughing with pure joy. That evening, the family gathered around the TV to watch a variety show. Matilda quietly read her book. Her father, irritated by her lack of interest in the TV, snatched the book from her hands, tore out a few pages, and berated her harshly. Then he forced her to watch TV with him. This time, Matilda was thoroughly enraged. She glared at the TV with intense anger. Suddenly, the TV exploded into a heap of scrap metal. Her mother screamed in terror. Only then did Matilda realize she had superpowers. After this incident, her father's hatred for her deepened. He sent her to school, abandoning her to fend for herself. But Matilda couldn't have been happier. She finally got to attend school. Little did she know, elementary school wasn't as easy as she imagined. The principal was like a titan, a fierce and terrifying figure. She showed no interest in the children's education, focusing solely on extracting as much profit from them as possible. Compared to the tyrannical principal, Miss Honey was the exact opposite, kind and caring. One day in class, while discussing multiplication tables, Miss Honey came up with a particularly challenging problem. 13 times 379.
4,927.
Beg your pardon?
I think that's the answer. 13 times 379. 4927.
Miss Honey couldn't believe it. She grabbed a pen and paper and checked the math, only to find that Matilda was correct.
Like and subscribe.